Okay, in today's class, we are going to learn about correlation analysis for numeric data. So, for this correlation analysis, numeric data is also called as correlation coefficient. Okay, which is developed by, it is also called as Pearson product movement coefficient, right? So, it is represented by using or subscript a comma b. A is one attribute and here b is another attribute. So if you want to find out the correlation between these two attributes, okay, correlation between these two attributes data must be in the form of numeric only. Whenever you will have the attributes, data entries are in the form of numeric, then you are going to use this correlation coefficient. This is the formula for correlation coefficient. Okay, you may write like this or you may write like this, isn't it? Okay, so here A and B are the two attribute values, isn't it? So it's a sum of I equal to 1 to n ai into bi. It's a cross product of a into b values, okay, minus number of attributes into mean value of a and mean value of b by n minus number of attributes minus 1 into standard deviation of a. Here you need to calculate a standard deviation for a and here the standard deviation of b. This is the formula of, okay, correlation coefficient here, right? If the if this result of RAB is greater than 0, then these A and B are positively correlated. Positively correlated. There is a relation between A and B. If those are AB less than 0, these two are negatively correlated. A and B attributes are negatively correlated, which means there is no correlation between those. And completely negatively correlated. If A and B, if R subscript AB equal to 0, then those two are the independent attributes. Independent attributes. So, if you want to compulsory, here we are going to find out the correlation between two attributes. If we will get this kind of result, then only okay, when the A and B values, attribute A and attribute B are independent, then only it's possible to merge those two attributes into a single table. If those two are correlated, means better to avoid or leave one attribute among those two, isn't it? That is our concept till now we have studied. Clear? And coming to the next one. Next one is correlation measures for a linear relationship. The same thing we have continued here. This is not important now. Okay, next we are going to learn about covariance. So this covariance is another kind of analysis of handling redundancy, okay, for numeric data. So covariance is one kind of analysis technique, okay, to handle the numeric data or to calculate the numeric data relationship, isn't it? So covariance is similar to a correlation. What is the first point here? The covariance, whatever we are going to calculate, that is almost similar to a correlation. So for this, here we have a formula. Here we are having a covariance formula here. Okay, this correlation coefficient, you may write like this also. A correlation coefficient, you can write or a comma b equal to covariance of a comma b by standard deviation of a and into standard deviation of b. This is the formula for correlation coefficient. That's why the covariance is similar to a correlation here, isn't it? So if the covariance of a comma b is greater than 0, that is called, okay, those are called same, positively correlated. If the covariance of a comma b is less than the 0, then that is a negative covariance. If those are equal to 0, then a and b values are attributes are independent here. Okay, in next slide we have one example for this covariance calculations. Let us see. Okay, this is the just a small example for covariance. Here we are having some values for a and b. So first one is a attribute value, second one is b attribute value. Assume, okay, for this is set of values here we are having. In this set of values, always the first value is represented under the way and second one is representing under the b. Okay, so going to calculate now. If now we are going to calculate the covariance for this. Okay, how to calculate the covariance? Covariance of a comma b equal to, okay, covariance of a comma b equal to e of a into b minus mean value of a, mean value of b. Mean value of a into mean value of b here. So for that, first of all, you need to calculate the mean values of a and mean values of b. How you are going to calculate the mean value of a? 2 plus 3 plus, okay, 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6. How many values are there here? Completely 5. So this is the calculation of mean value for a. And what is the second one? And you should calculate the mean value of b. Mean value of b in the sense 5 plus 8, okay, 10, 11, 14. Automatically, these are the values. By 5, you are getting the 4 for mean value of a. Mean of a for 9.6 is mean of b. After that, here you are going to calculate the covariance of a comma b equal to, okay, a into b. So what is the a value here? A value is 2, b value is 5, isn't it? So see, 2 into 5 plus 3 into 8 plus 5 into 10 plus 4 into 11 plus 6 into 14, like that we are going to calculate by 5 minus 4 into minus 4 into 9.6. This is the value 4. Finally, we got the value 4. So 4 is greater than 0. So automatically this is positive covariance, isn't it? So this is about a small example for covariance. Next, actually, what is the importance of data integration here? Now, till now we have studied about completely, we have learned in this topic, we have learned. Now we are in the concept of data integration. isn't it? This is the data integration. Under this data integration, we have learned about schema integration and object matching, detection and resolution of data value conflicts, finally redundancy, handling of redundancy. These are the things we have learned till now. Okay, so after this, the final one is, actually, what is data integration here? Okay, data integration is a concept of merging a data from multiple data sources. Multiple number of databases, isn't it? So what is data integration? It is a merging of multiple databases data into a single database. That is the concept. So what is the importance of this data integration? Okay, what is the need to integrate into a single database? Okay, now we are going to see that importance in last slide of this concept. See, careful integration of the data from multiple sources may help. Careful integration of the data from multiple sources may help reduce, avoid redundancies and inconsistencies, and improve mining speed. Improve mining speed and quality of data. So here we are merging multiple sources of data into a single database. Okay, to perform or to mine the data, to apply the mining techniques on that particular single database. Instead of applying individual database, okay, better to do or better to perform mining on a single database. It would give the more accurate results than studying of small parts of data, isn't it? Instead of studying small parts of data at a time, you have the total data in a single database. If you will perform any kind of analysis on that particular data, you may get accurate results. Okay, accurate these results for decision making on your businesses. Okay, on your businesses or the things or the situations. Okay, anywhere and any place, if you want to make decisions are based on your previous historical data, then you should perform. Okay, you need to store the total data at a single place. Okay, on the data only, here you are going to perform analysis. Okay, this analysis is for which purpose? To take the decisions. Okay, and to predict the future. To predict the future. Now some IPL matches are going on nowadays. So every day some teams are playing this match. So you are having some confidence, some assessment on the both the teams because of history, because based on the history of their independent capacities or the teams, isn't it? To have some historical data information about those teams, then you may predict or you may assess, okay, today in today's match this team is going to win. Okay, this team is going to lose the match. Like that, you can predict the future, isn't it? Based on the past data, whatever we have. Here also in data mining also the same thing is happens. Based on the historical data, you are going to assess or you are going to predict the future by analyzing the old data, isn't it? If the data is okay, the total data is available in single place only, it is easy to analyze, isn't it? Instead of studying multiple databases. Right, for that here we are going for data integration. Data integration concept here. Okay, whenever you will perform this kind of integration, okay, technique, mean carefully, then you may reduce or avoid the redundancies, you may reduce or avoid the duplicates and inconsistencies, mismatching of values, and some incomplete data. This kind of all the data you may avoid or reduce if you perform the careful integration operation. Okay, that improves the mining speed, which means analysis. It will improve the speed of analyzation, and also it would give a qualitative results to a human being. Qualitative results to a human being. That is the importance of the data integration. Clear? So for this, first of all, you need to avoid the issues of data integration. Then only you will get the accurate results, isn't it? Okay, this is about data integration. In next class, we are going to study about data reduction. In next class, we are going to know about data reduction. Okay, this is about today's class. Do you have